identity is right now, you only believe it because you have proof of it. You go to church every Sunday every for 20 years. You have evidence that you are religious. If you study biology for 1 hour every night, you have evidence that you are studious. If you go to the gym even when it is snowing, you have evidence that you are committed to fitness. The more evidence you have for a belief, the more strongly you will believe it. For most of my early life, I didn't consider myself a writer. If you were to ask of my high school teachers or college professor, they would tell you I was an average writer at best, certainly not a standout. When I began my writing career, I published a new article every Monday and Thursday for the first few years. As the evidence grew, so did my identity as a warrior, as a writer. I didn't start out as a writer, I became one through my habits. Of course, your habits are not the only actions that influence your identity, but by virtue of their frequency, they are usually the most important ones. Each experience in life modify your self-image, but it is unlikely you would consider yourself a soccer player because you kicked the ball once, or an artist because you script a picture. As you repeat these actions, however, the evidence accumulates and your self image begins to change. The effect of one off experiences tends to fade away while the effect of habits gets reinforced with time, which means your habits contribute most of the evidence that shapes your identity. In this way, the process of building habits is actually the process of becoming yourself. This is a gradual evolution. We don't change by snapping our. We are here. This is a gradual evolution. We don't change by snapping our fingers and deciding to be someone entirely new. We change bit by bit, day by day, habit by habit. We are continually undergoing micro evolution of the self. Each habit is like a suggestion. Hey, maybe this is who I am. If you finish a book, then perhaps you are the type of person who likes reading. If you go to the gym, then perhaps you are the type of person who likes exercise. If you practice playing the guitar, perhaps you are the type of person who like music. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. No single instance will transform your belief, but as the votes build up, so does the evidence of your new identity. This is one reason why meaningful change doesn't require radical change. Small habits can make a meaningful difference by providing evidence of a new identity, and if change is meaningful, it actually is big. That is the paradox of making small improvement. Putting this all together, you can see that habits are the part to changing your identity. The practical way to change who you are is to change what you do. Each time you write a page, you are a writer. Each time you practice the violin, you are a musician. Each time you start a worker, you are an athlete. Each time you encourage your employee, you are a leader. Each habit not only gets results but also teaches you something far more important: to trust yourself. You start to believe you can actually accomplish these things. When the votes mount up and the evidence begins to change, the story you tell yourself begins to change as well. Of course, it works the opposite way too. Every time you choose to perform a bad habit, it is a vote for that identity. The good news is that you don't need to you don't need to be perfect in any election. There are going to be votes for both sides. You don't need an unanimous vote to win an election. You just need a majority. It doesn't matter if you cast a few votes for a bad behavior or an unproductive habit, your goal is simply to win the majority of the time. New identities require new evidence. If you keep casting the same votes you have always cast, you are going to get the same results you have always had. If nothing changes, nothing is going to change. It is a simple two-step process. Decide the type of person you want to be, prove it to yourself with small wins. ठीक है. First, decide who you want to be. This holds at any level, as an individual, as a team, as a community, as a nation. What do you want to stand for? What are your principles and values? What do you wish to become? These are big questions, and many people are not sure where to begin, but they don't know, but they do know what kind of results they want. To get six packs abs or to feel less anxious or to double their salary, that is fine. Start there and work backward from the results you want to the type of person who could get those results. Ask yourself, who is the type of person that could get the outcome I want? Who is the type of person that could lose 40 pounds? Who is the type of person that could learn a new language? Who is the type of person that could run a successful startup? For example, who is the type of person who could write a book? It is probably someone who is consistent and reliable. Now your focus shifts from writing a book outcome is to being the type of person who is consistent, reliable, identity based. This process can lead to beliefs like I am the kind of teacher who stand up for her students. I am the kind of doctor who gives each patient the time and empathy they need. I am the kind of manager who advocates for her employees. Once you have a handle on the type of person you want to be, you can begin taking small steps to reinforce your desired identity. I have a friend who lost over 100 pounds by asking herself, what would a healthy person do? All day long, she would use the question as a guide. Would a healthy person walk or take a cab? Would a healthy person order a burrito or a salad? She figured if she acted like a healthy person long enough, eventually she would become that person. She was right. The concept of identity based habits is our first introduction to another key theme is this book, feedback loops. Your habits shape your identity and your identity shapes your habits. It is a two-way street. The foundation of all habits is a feedback loop, a concept we will explore in depth in the next chapter, but it is important to let your values, principles, and identity drive the loop rather than your results. The focus should always be on becoming that type of person, not getting a particular outcome. The real reason habits master. Identity change is the north star of habit change. The reminder of this book will provide you with step by step instruction on how to build better habits in yourself, your family, your team, your company, and any other where else you wish. But the true question is, are you becoming the type of person you want to become? The first step is not what or how, but who. You need to know who you want to be. Otherwise, your quest for change is like a boat without a rudder, and that's why we are starting here. You have the power to change your beliefs about yourself. Your identity is not set in stone. You have a choice in every moment. You can choose the identity you want to reinforce today with the habits you choose today. And this brings us to the deeper purpose of this book and the real reason habits matter. Building better habits isn't about littering your day with the life hacks. It is not about flossing one tooth each night or taking a cold shower each morning or wearing the same outfit each day. It is not about achieving external measures of success like earning more money, losing weight, or reducing stress. Habits can help you achieve all of these things, but fundamentally, they are not about having something, they are about becoming someone. Ultimately, your habits matter because they help you become the type of person you wish to be. They are the channel through which you develop your deepest beliefs and about yourself. Quite literally, you become your habits. Chapter summary. There are three levels of change. You can see there are three levels of change: outcome change, process change, and identity change. The most effective way to change your habits is to focus not on what you want to achieve but on who you wish to become. Your identity emerges out of your habits. Every action is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Becoming the best version of yourself requires you to continuously edit your beliefs and to upgrade and expand your identity. The real reason habits matter is not because they can get you better results, although they can do that, but because they can change your beliefs about yourself, your habits, how your habits shape your identity, and vice versa. This is the chapter summary. Now, this is the next chapter: how to build better habits in 4 simple steps. I can see you first chapter summary. This is the first chapter summary. You can read. Habits are the compound interest of self improvement. Getting 1% better every day counts for a lot in the long run. Habits are a double-edged sword. They can work for you and against you, which is why understanding the details is essential. The small changes often appears to make no difference until you cross a critical threshold. The most powerful outcome of any compounding process are delayed. You need to be patient. An atomic habit is the little habit that is part of a larger system, just as atoms are the building blocks of molecules. Atomic habits are the building blocks of remarkable results. If you want better results, then forget about setting goals. Focus on your system instead. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. This is the book, James Clear, Atomic Habits, an easy and proven way to build good habits and break bad ones. International bestseller, Tiny Changes, Remarkable Results. So now we started third chapter: how to build better habits in 4 simple steps. You can watch, you can see it. I use filter. I will try. This is the filter options. I don't know where to become a filter. So this is the now this is the timer. I started for 30 minutes. Then look how many pages we did in 7 minutes. Okay, let's start. In 1898, a psychologist named Edward Thorndike conducted an experiment that would lay the foundation for our understanding of how habits form and the rules that guide our behavior. Thorndike was interested in studying the behavior of animals, and he started by working with cats. He would place each cat inside a device known as puzzle box. The box was designed so that the cat would could escape from through a door by some simple act, such as pulling out at a loop of cord, pressing lever, or stepping on a platform. For example, one box contained a lever that, when pressed, would open a door or the on the side of the box. Once the door had been opened, the cat could dart out and run over to a bowl of food. Most cats wanted to escape as soon as they were placed inside the box. They would poke their nose into the corners, stick their paws through openings, and claw at loose objects. After a few minutes of exploration, the cat would happen to press the magical lever, the door would open, and they would escape. Thorndike tracked the behavior of each cat across many trials in In the beginning, the animals moved around the box at random, but as soon as the lever had been pressed and the door opened, the process of learning began. Gradually, each cat learned to associate the action of pressing the lever with the reward of escaping the box and getting into the food. After 20 to 30 trials, this behavior became so automatic and habitual that the cat could escape within a few seconds. For example, Thorndike noted cat 12 took the following times to perform the act: 160 seconds, 30 seconds, 90 seconds, 60, 15, 20. During the first three trials, the cat escaped in an average of 1.5 minutes. During the last three trials, it escaped on an average 6.3 seconds. With a practice, each cat fewer errors and their actions became quicker and more automatic rather than repeat the same mistakes. The cat began to cut straight to the solution. From his studies, Thorndike described the learning process by stating behaviors followed by satisfying consequences to be repeated, and those that produce unpleasant consequences are less likely to be repeated. His work provides the perfect starting point for discussing how habits form in our own lives. It also provides answers to some fundamental questions like what are habits and why does the brain bother building them at all? Why your brain builds habits? It is the most important question. Why your brain builds habits? So we read a habit is a behavior that has been repeated enough times to become automatic. The process of habit formation begins with trial and error. Whenever you encounter a new situation in life, your brain has to make a decision. How do I respond to this? The first time you come across a problem, you are not sure how to solve it. Like Thorndike's cat, you are not. You are just trying things out to see what works. Neurological activity. This is the right way, I think. Neurological activity in the brain is high during this period. You are carefully analyzing the situation, making conscious decisions about how to act. You're taking in terms of new information, trying to make sense of it all. The brain is busy learning the most effective course of action. Occasionally, like a cat pressing on a lever, you stumble across a solution. You are feeling anxious and you discover that going for a run calms you down. You are mentally exhausted for a long day of work. Learn that playing video games relaxes you. You are exploring, then be a reward. After you stumble upon an unexpected reward, you alter your strategy for next thing. Your brain immediately becomes wait a minute, that felt good. What did I do right before that? This is the feedback loop behind all human behavior. Try, fail, learn. Try it differently. With practice, the useless movements fade away, and the useful actions get reinforced. That is a habit forming. Whenever you face a problem repeatedly, your brain begins to automate the process of solving it. Your habits are just a series of automatic solutions that solve the problems and instead you face regularly. As a behavioral scientist, Jesus Reha writes, habits as a behavioral habits are simply reliable solutions to recurring problems in our environment. As habits are created, the level of activity in the brain decreases. You learn to lock in on the cues and the predict success and tune out everything else. When a similar situation arises in the future, you know exactly what to look for. There is no longer a need to analyze every angle of situation. Your brain is capable. It creates a mental rule. If this, then that, then these cognitive scripts can be followed automatically whenever the situation is appropriate. Now, whenever you feel stressed, you get the itch to run. As soon as you walk in the door from work, you grab the video game controller. A choice that once required effort is now automatic. A habit has been created. Habits are mental shortcuts learned from experience. In a sense, a habit is just a memory of the step you previously followed to solve a problem in the past. Whenever the conditions are right, you can draw on this memory and automatically apply the same solution. The primary reason the brain remembers the past is to better predict what will work in the future. Habit formation is incredibly useful because the conscious mind is the bottleneck of the brain. It can only pay attention to one problem at a time. As a result, your brain is always working to preserve your conscious attention for whatever task is most essential. Whenever possible, the conscious mind likes to pound off tasks to the non-conscious mind to do. This is precisely what happens when a habit is formed. Habits reduce cognitive load and free up mental capacity, so you can allocate your attention to other tasks despite their efficiency. But still wonder about the benefits of habit. The argument goes like this: will habits make my life dull? I don't want to pigeonhole myself into a lifestyle I don't enjoy. Doesn't so much routine take away vibrancy and spontaneity of life? Hardly. Such questions set up a false dichotomy. They make you think that you have to choose between building habits and attaining freedom. They to complement each other. Habits don't restrict freedom; they create it. In fact, just wait a minute. In fact, the people who don't have their habit centers are often the ones with the least amount of freedom. Okay, pause. And they are often the ones who with the least amount of freedom. Without good financial habits, you will always be struggling for the next dollar. Without good health habits, you will always seem to be short on energy. Without good learning habits, you will always behind the curve. If you are always being forced to make decisions about simple tasks, when should I work out, where do I go right, where do I go to right, where do I pay the bills, when do I pay the bills, then you have less time for freedom. It is only by making the fundamentals of life easier that you can mental space needed for free thinking and attitude. Conversely, when you have your habits dialed in and the basics of life are handled and done, is free to focus on new changes and master the next set of problem. Building habits in the present allow you to do more of what you want to do in the future. Yeah, this is the page number 47.